Promised you some Thanksgiving recipes, so let's start with cauliflower stuffing. Come along and lean and green with me. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I am living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. Part of the Optavia program is making lean and green meals that consist of 5 to 7 ounces of lean protein and 3 lower servings of lower carbohydrate vegetables. Now with Thanksgiving coming down the pike, we know we want to have some great sides to go with it. So the first one I'm going to make for you is a cauliflower stuffing, which I never tried before, but I'm really excited about. So I'm going to tell you the ingredients that you're going to need. First of all, you need 4 cups of riced cauliflower. I rice my own in the food processor. I just take a head of cauliflower and take all of the florets off, throw it in the food processor and get it down so it's kind of a sandy texture. I have already weighed this out. 4 cups of raw cauliflower should weigh 14 ounces, 14.08 ounces. So that's what I have in here is my 4 cups of cauliflower. I'm going to dice up some celery. I need a cup of celery. I need 1/3 of a cup of onion. I need a cup of mushrooms. So those are the veggies that are going in there. And then the recipe calls for 2 ounces of walnuts. It calls for poultry seasoning. It calls for rosemary, but I'm not a huge rosemary person, so I'm going to do thyme instead because thyme goes really well with poultry. And sage and salt. So let me show you how to put that together. Before I put all the stuffing together, let me invite you to please subscribe to my channel. If you would just hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to see more recipe videos, my reality checks, weight loss tips and tricks, those kinds of things I like to post each week. So if that's the kind of content you want, please hit that subscribe button and join my tribe and encourage me along my weight loss journey. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up some mushrooms. I know I need 1 cup of chopped fresh mushrooms, and according to the vegetable conversion chart, that should weigh 2.46 ounces, so 2.5 ounces. So I'm going to zero out my scale. It's already got the cauliflower in it. Just want to hit that 0 button, and then I'm just going to chop up, just roughly chop these. They're going to cook down quite a bit, but mushrooms do provide kind of a meaty texture to things. The walnuts are also going to help with that. So I want to make sure that I've got small enough pieces so that they'll cook down well. And again, I want this to get to about 2.5 ounces. Oh, that was exactly 2.5. So I've got a little bit left over. I'm going to throw that in the fridge because I might use that on a pizza coming up here pretty soon. The next thing that I need is a cup of chopped celery, and I've already weighed this out. I know that a cup of celery is 3.5 ounces. So I went ahead and weighed this out already just to save a little bit of time. And then the last vegetable that I need is 1/3 of a cup of onion. I'm going to measure this out. This This is probably pretty close to 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to just use it all because that little bit's not going to really amount to a whole lot. So it's close enough. And the next step is to take 1 tablespoon of butter. I forgot to mention that. 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to put that into my skillet on the stove. And I'm going to saute these vegetables for probably 5 to 10 minutes until they are softened. And then I will be right back. Okay, ooh, can you see me through the fog? The veggies have sauteed for 5 minutes, so I'm going to dump them back into my bowl so I can mix everything together a lot easier than in the skillet. And to the skillet, I am adding 2 ounces of chopped walnuts. I suppose you could use pecans if you wanted to do that. Maybe you would even want to use almonds. That would work as well. I have a 1/2 cup of chicken stock. That's my homemade chicken stock. So I know that it's reduced sodium because I don't put any sodium in it. I am going to do a teaspoon of sage. And a teaspoon of thyme, or if you want to do rosemary. And then a 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. And I use kosher salt, which means I really technically could use more, but I'm going to stick with a 1/2 teaspoon because I don't need all the extra sodium in there. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, which has more sage in it and other things. And then I'm just going to mix these together. And this actual recipe, I'm going to freeze so that I can have it for Thanksgiving. So I've pre-made it, and everything in here will freeze just fine. Just mix it together. Now this, if you watched my Thanksgiving survival guide video, I explained there that I am doing partial servings. So this recipe actually makes what they say is 2 servings, and those 2 servings are 3 greens, 3 condiments, a 1/2 of a healthy fat, and a 1/4 of a lean. But I'm only going to eat 1/3 of this because really what I want is to be able to have at least 3 different sides on my plate. So instead of eating 1/2 of this pan, I'm going to eat 1/6 of this pan, which is still going to be almost probably about a 1/2 cup still of this vegetable mixture, which is more than enough as a side with my turkey and other things for Thanksgiving. So this is what it looks like. It's not going to look a whole lot different once I bake it in the oven. When you do cook it, you will cook it at 350, I believe. I didn't write that down. But you're going to put it at 350, and then you're going to bake it for 12 to 15 minutes. Now I'm freezing this, so mine's going to come out of the fridge because I'll thaw it, you know, a day or 2 ahead of time. And so I probably will have to put it in the oven for more like 30 minutes until it's hot. But you can do that. I'm going to let this cool down, cover it with foil, pop it in the freezer, and I've got 1 side dish for Thanksgiving all ready to go. Look at that. All right, until I see you next time, please live in the light.